Hey, how's it going? So today we're going to be looking at some Diamond 1, Diamond 2 gameplay here on Sake Hardpoint. So it should be pretty interesting. He said that there is a decent amount of crims and diamonds in the lobby, so it should be a solid game for him to test what he's good at. Right now, specifically, he asked, he's trying out the flex position, just switching mid game between AR and SMG, and just wondering if he's making the right choices at the right timings, uh, as well as if there are times when he's making the right reads, spawn blocking, being too aggressive, all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to be looking at that. We'll get right into it. Quickly, smallest thing in the world, but we'll be thorough with everything. Just because once you're getting into those crim lobbies, these are the things that will matter. Once you get about here, you actually like slide peek it for a second, and then you're just completely fine to give it up. Because what you're going to see is you're going to check if they're not running through this lane at this point. They're not going to be sitting back blue, because if they're sitting back blue, that means they're expecting their teammates on the hill to die, which they wouldn't have expected that yet. They would be sitting front blue where you're not going to have this angle. So like this is such a small thing, but it's just to make your gameplay faster and like more responsive. Once you see that this lane is clear in this specific area, no one's going to be pushing here for at least like 10 seconds. They got to come off spawn and then come back through here, but no one off spawn came through here. You can already tell, and this is when you can turn to mid and support your teammates on the hill. Overall, like, those deaths are going to happen. I do really like how you gave up and just didn't even chow this. It's such a small thing, but there are a lot of players who will just chow any person they see, and they will get tunnel vision. It's just really nice to see when you just know 11 bullets in the chamber, give it up. Don't even chow it. Yeah, just an unfortunate position there. Nothing that you can really like it's one of those small things. Great shots. So far I'm liking this. The only thing is like your teammates right in front of you, so you're recognizing to push forward. Nothing in there like is the worst in the world. Obviously I'm speaking with hindsight of knowing what happened. What I do see here though is you start pre-firing this guy. If you're pre-firing him, there's one thing he knows for certain, and it's that you're not going to chow him. He can just sit like when they have the objective and he's sitting on the point, it's uncontested. He has no reason to chow you in this moment, whether he slides left or peeks right, whatever it is. He's just gonna sit there. He knows you're just shooting at a wall, shooting at nothing, and you only have 30 bullets. Obviously, he doesn't get to that point because we ended up getting flanked. But I just want to say, like, this shooting this right now, this is doing nothing. It's if anything, it's just highlighting how open you are in your positioning right now. If anyone's peeking, like obviously we have our teammates there, but if anyone's peeking from the blue side, if anyone's peeking that came from the general store and is now like coming from mid, you're exposed. If anyone's on your flank, you're exposed. The only person you're not exposed to is the guy you're chowing. So it's just a level in which, if I was in this position at this moment, your opportunity is either to wait until you have reinforcements and they're reinforcing where you can shoot the other guys first. So position back here and aim. I would probably position here and aim towards general store behind you, or I'm just aping him, and I'm hoping I can get, the hip fire with the AR and get that lucky kill and hope I can outgun him. But this right here, he has no reason to chow you. It's unfortunate timing, but you do want to expect that. You do see his thing come up, and that's when you immediately want to get out of this position, because what you're doing is you're wide peeking this head glitch, obviously in an attempt to kill this guy. But you do know that it exposes you to the position here, and the position on this head glitch, which the second you do, like, obviously he gets the lucky timing of predicting it right at the right time. So that's not usually going to happen. But what will happen is the second you start initiating this gunfight, that's when he will peek, because he knows you're exposed to him, and he doesn't want you to confirm that kill. And if you do end up confirming this kill, he's going to confirm your kill either way, and you've just made it a draw at best. So the best thing in this case, you're looking at your teammate dead here. You're likely looking at just giving this gunfight up and just sliding back out and trying to re-chow him. Just because, once you see this position, taking this gunfight, the best you can do is draw. So we switch to the SMG. Love reading that corner. That's where you get a bit too aggressive. So you mentioned this. You're a bit too aggressive with the SMG, and obviously this is one fight, but so far I would agree. We're at 2% health at the end of this gunfight. We do secure 2 kills as a team. That's an important fact. Aping the hill, though, you're definitely going to die, and at that point, you're hoping this guy secures 2 more, because it looks like the rest of your team might be rotating or just coming off spawn. So what I would probably do is I would have set up on this left head glitch here, knowing once you secure that kill, this guy will peek you, most likely. He will at least see if you're chowing him, and that's when you try to secure that kill. But you're giving yourself the advantage, at least on the head glitch, just because you're 2% health. We switch back to the AR. I love that. So we drop 3 immediately. Our team will start to rotate, and we're just here holding scrap time. All right, he chows us as well. That's fine. And another one. Okay. Great shots. So you definitely don't have any problems with shooting with the AR. To be honest, the only thing that I might say, and this is the smallest thing in the world that I'm now critiquing. Okay, no, that's the second guy. So we get this guy. He's out of position. He has no reason to chow. Especially for scrap time, they're up, 40 points. Their positioning should be to fight your teammates on new. He chows you, and he's a dumbass. You win the gunfight. That's great. This guy, though, once you got out of dodge there, once you slid forward and you were fine, I, to be honest, might have just left him. If he wants to fight for that final 1 second, that's fine. What if you were to not engage this? Obviously, you engage and you win, and hey, completely fine. Like, either way is fine. I usually like to just leave them there. If they're going to be out of position, let them be out of position. You have time to go. You will out sprint him to new, or you start setting up mid. If you went to general store, you can hold that mid cross, and knowing he's behind you, you can get that timing on when he eventually chows mid, because he's going to have to push through this. So like you can always set up and decide when to initiate. Obviously, you initiate right away, completely fine. The only thing is, obviously, he will get these spawns towards new with his teammates. So I think you're recognizing the same thing I am, and it's that there's one teammate that's out of position, and who it is it's this green guy, who's in green, I guess. But so you have a guy on hill, you have the guy pushed up towards boats, which is the preferred spawn, and you have this guy sitting top window. The one thing with it is because he's the guy at boats is pushed up there. He will not probably be blocking the spawn enough in order to get him, to spawn back blue. Uh, Depending on exactly where he is, you're gonna see possibly a split spawn. Possibly all three of these guys will spawn back green. It's really hard to predict, and that's why I see you kind of moving here in No Man's. You're just trying to hold an angle, but you don't know which one. Uh, so whatever happens next, this is not on you when it comes to positioning. This is just an unfortunate reaction of not being able to predict these spawns. Great. Yeah, he's moved out. They're going to spawn behind you. Especially now that he's moved away from that window. Yeah. It's so hard to predict just because of your teammate there. And he's still up there. Yeah. So he gets one. He eventually goes. Lucky nade in the end. And you guys get spawns. Smaller thing, like a lot of these things will be small things. You're already, like, it shows, you have great shots, you have good awareness, all these things. So, like, these will be small things, but it's the small things that add up. Even just mantling on the back of this car is better than just jumping right in the front, just in case, like, in these scenarios, like, we make, million small decisions in this game every single minute. And it's these small things in which it's like, okay, that's what caught me that time. That's what caught me that time. In the case of what caught you this time, is you're mantling on a high enough object, which you're going to get the long mantle in no man's land, because you're just exposed to all of mid. If you either don't jump on this and just peek either from right in this position, or you go around the car, those are both good options. If you're wanting the height advantage, just jumping onto the back of it, just so you have a bit of cover, and you should get the quicker mantle. Okay, so we switched to the sub for new. So far, I've liked the decisions switching between the sub and the AR. Great trigger discipline again. I'm really liking that. We're waiting for our team. Teammate drops one. Okay, yeah, great recognition to just play for the back here. We ended up losing the gunfight. That's whatever. We'll get these spawns, and we pull out the AR. I actually really like this AR push. You have someone on hill anytime. If you have a guy on hill, then you are free range to pull out the AR and post up if you have that guy on your team. So that's great. Your teammate drops two. I understand you won the gunfight, but I want to say something just because at a higher level, you're likely not going to win this. You're going to wide peek just too much. They're spawning mid. Like, it seems like you have great spawn awareness. You understand that they're going to be pushing through mid. So what you end up doing is you don't even, you need to stop running at this position where I'm paused now and slowly peek out while pre-aimed. Or at least being like triggering your aim, like half pre-aiming, just to be ready for these gunfights a lot faster. Because what you're doing here, if this guy, which realistically he should be, pre-aiming exactly where you are, you should be dead. Any, high crim, Yuri players, top 250s, pros, whatever it is, they're going to make sure that this kill is secured, just because you're not prepared for this gunfight at this point. Now, luckily you win it, but, you wanted to have stopped running. Did you see the guy to your left? Because I saw him. You didn't. That's fine. It's such a small thing. When you're watching, it's a lot easier to spot guys than when you're actually playing. It's hard to tell just because of the timing. Just because I don't have the actual clocks on in the game, so I don't know how much time is left on this hill. So I assume you're giving up the back at this point to start pushing for new. So that's what I'm expecting. Yeah, okay, 10 seconds left. So now we want to start pushing the back of this. Another time we give up a good gunfight. All right, we see 3 of them, 1 dead. We don't need to chow that. We don't need to chow that. Look at this. You see him. He's on the head glitch. He knows where you are. You have to slide into the open for this. You're not winning this, 9 times out of 10. Maybe, the 10% you are, but that's not the kind of gunfight that we want. We're in a quite good position. We're not fully blocking the spawn, because they can still spawn in this back corner, obviously. But we're disrupting the spawn enough in which you staying alive will likely pull not only this guy, but likely pull a second guy to chow you, because they can't have you sitting back here. So playing your life is a lot more important than securing this kill right now. What I would recommend... So we're just coming up into new here. You got the guy here. Everyone else we'll just forget about. And you have yourself here. Instead of trying to chow this out, I would have liked to see you more come back here. Check to make sure, because we did see this guy. Check to make sure that guy's dead. And then you either make the decision to come back into here and chow, or you're going top window. What you're not doing is chowing this. Even if you're up here, the only thing is if you get into this cut here, there's maybe a play, because then you have the cover of the front car. But this lane, to be honest, is just not possible to chow properly, because this guy's watching, and he will just always win that gunfight. It's a great head glitch, and you just don't have the right cover. So whether to be honest, my brain would go to one of these routes, just to reposition yourself in a way in which you can win the gunfight. If you're up here, then if you come and chow this top broken, now you can chow anyone who's sitting here in this window. Now you can chow also just through here, and you can re-chow them from this position and try to bait someone into coming back up in here, and then you get the second kill by confirming that. Even just playing in here, anything within this area, you have the cover to reinitiate this gunfight with him, but this lane is completely blocked off. There's just no way to win this fight. You definitely use your nades decently. To be honest, I would have maybe thrown it a second earlier, but again, small things. The stuns, I don't know if I've seen you use a whole lot of. Because I definitely love a good stun over this wall, just so even for the smallest thing, the stun will tell you how many people it hits, so you can count if you're chowing 2 people down here, possibly 3, but usually it's going to be 1 or 2, and that just gives you a better lay of how many people you're expecting to be here, if there's going to be a guy top window, all these small things. But yeah, just be cautious. Try to remember to use those stuns when possible. You end up, being the bait there. That's going to happen, especially when you're playing the flex roll. You did shell out mid without really checking it there. It's a small thing, but I keep saying that. But, you know. And then we run at that. So this is where we're probably being a bit too aggressive as well on some of these lives. So we see him, and we just run at him. Even if... Now, obviously, in this case, he stands in a way in which you could have continued shooting him. We expect him, you know, to go and hide and stay in cover. He doesn't do that. That's not something we predict, though. But what we can predict is once you've shot this guy, whether you secure the kill or not, the guy on the mid-cut heady is going to chow you. If you run out into the open, there's probably going to be a guy in broken in which he's going to chow you. And both of these fights, when you're out in this no man's land, is not a position in which you're going to win that fight. Just sitting on this head glitch, either whether you secure this kill or not, you've made him weak. He's going to go hide. The second guy is going to chow you. That's what you need to be set up for, especially with your team. They're all dead. Now, you know, you're looking for a pick or possibly two, just so you can wait for your teammates to come up. Running here, you know, we end up seeing, you know, there's this guy, and this guy, all looking at this no man's land. There's not a great way to make this cross right now. Honestly, similar thing. I think your main thing is you have quite good awareness, but when you're initiating coming off spawn, you're not ready for how quick these gunfights can happen. Just because we'll see what happens, but like right when you come out this door, there could easily be someone peeking here, there could be someone peeking here, and you're still in full run. Just getting like those pre-aims ready and like just like it doesn't have to stop your like you know, you don't walk around the map, but you know, you want to be ready for these different gunfights, but you full on run into this again because this is the case now. You've run up, there's this guy, and there's this guy who's already started shooting. You are not prepared for this gunfight. Now, he will probably die if he full on commits to you because someone else on your team will shoot him. But, like, you're just being this bait. Yeah, which is what happens. Good time for a trophy. I'm going to try to predict something. And I just want to say it because I want to see what happens after and what I think will happen. Both of your teammates around Hill died. You have one guy watching over you now. At this point, your objective should be to play your life. You're just delaying so your team can come back up. You will likely die in whatever position you are, unless, you know, the right circumstances happen. In my head, what I would do next is I would lie down, likely, and watch towards the store, and hoping the guy that's spawning up and getting our back will cover this fight that will inevitably happen. But, you know, you're just playing your life. You slide out and get the kill, which isn't bad, but it will inevitably lead to death, yeah. So we're probably now resetting for kill 2. Our teammate gets 2 in mid, and there's still at least one more guy there. So we should have full control. Yeah, that's one where we just got joked. Every game it's going to happen at least once. We're not even going to replay it. Just those are the gunfights you just need to wash off. Shouldn't happen, but it does. We are being too aggressive here. Even with our teammates fighting, and like we know our teammates have got the kills. We're half health. And we just got into that gunfight, so whoever is the last guy, they definitely know where we all are. This just isn't a gunfight you have to take. You know your team has the hill covered, everything's covered. You are now in the position in which you can block mid, and you can get a really nice cross on when like if you just move back and sit P1, anyone who comes through here, you're gonna get first peeks and like first shots into them, and they're gonna have to kill you before they push towards the hill. Challenging this guy, you're giving him an opportunity to at least make it a 3v3 when your team when his teammates spawn up and attack the hill, you'll be dead with this guy and it'll be a 3v3. If you just wait and let this guy sit, you're resetting with position instead. Yeah, just being a bit too aggressive here. Because now they're spawning up. And you just didn't have the ammo to fight them. Yeah, a little off on the nade. It's a good rotation. Almost looked like internet connection. It didn't look like... Yeah, it's hard to say. Might have been shaky shots. It looked like it might have just been a bad connection there. I've seen a few stutters in the game, so I'm not going to discredit that one. Good read. At this point, again, like, this is one of those hills where we're just playing life. So, again, like, this is one of those hills, when you're on the hill, you just want to play your life as best as possible. Once you switch sides here, which is the correct call, you see that guy up there. To be honest, I might leave hill to just secure that kill. Like, just slide out towards green and pick up the easy kill. Your teammate's going to do it anyway. But, depending on, like, the exact positioning of your teammates or whatever, you might just want to make sure that kill is secure. But after that, I'm just lying down right behind where you are currently and just forcing them, if they want to chow the hill and they want to kill you off of it, you have to make them slide into this position. Just so your teammate who's top green can also shoot at him. Because right now, what this position is, imagine, like, if you've played hockey or seen hockey or anything like this, the guy in your back green is your goalie, and you're full-on screening him. He can't see the guy, because your body is also in the way. He can't, like, you have no support with this gunfight, because none of these guys would be able to even shoot him without shooting through you. So, like, you just got to play your life a little bit more here and just, like, make him have to come out here. Make him step on the hill so your teammates are notified you're being challenged. I don't know the exact timings of this again, just because I don't have the hill clock. You're probably looking at once you've secured this lane, you might have just been able to push through. Specifically on where you would push through. So, P3 going to P4. Once you've secured, and, like, there's likely not ever going to be, just with how the spawns work on P3, very rarely when you're the guy sitting mid-cut. Here, let me reset some of these guys. We'll just say this is you. And this is no one. When you're the guy sitting here, and your team is currently spawning on this side, and actively trying to push through here at some point, What likely won't happen is someone pushing through general store, because I see you pre-aiming it. It does happen, obviously, especially once they've pushed through. Once your teammates are in this area, they might get these back blue spawns. If they get these back blue spawns, though, what's the likelihood of them now, 40 seconds into this hill, running through and trying to chow you mid-cut? It's pretty low. The likelihood is if they spawn back here, they're going to start holding here. They're going to start holding here, anywhere in here. They're going to make sure that this lane and this lane are all cut off from pushing towards P4. But they're not going to give it up, just because if they overchow, they know that they're going to get these spawns. And that's the last thing that they want. They're going to be protective of these spawns. So pre-aiming here probably isn't needed. What's likely needed is to see your guy. You're chowing, you're peeking through, you're making sure no one's pushing. Okay, now it's time to move. Where do we go? The last thing is this lane. There is enough time, not even at the 10-second clock on P3 yet. There is enough time within this game that this lane does not need to be. This is the fast track lane, This is the lane in which, you get to P4 and a gunfight as soon as possible. Anywhere in this lane is not a gunfight you want to be in, though. So that's not where we're going. Where we're going is either through here, and that's when we can start challenging, the window. And then what we can do is we could slide out here. Now we can chow anyone that's sitting up here. And we're taking these gunfights one at a time. The other option is we pull out our knife, and yeah, we're taking this route. We have the time to do it. And, you could even do this. Obviously, this one's the safer one, in which you won't be seen. Because that's the thing is, the hope is when you're taking this route, whoever's sitting here, 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 does not see you. The first time you would want to be seen on this route is if there's someone sitting here. That's when they'll see you for the first time. And that's when, you can start sliding in and getting closer and closer to this gunfight. But you're forcing him to have to pay attention to you, which means that your team is going to have the advantage when they're pushing towards these guys. So let's see what happens. We got to be ready for the gunfight. So you did take one of the routes. I like that. I like that you didn't go towards P1. But at this point, right in this position, is when you need to take out your gun, put the knife away. We need to make sure we don't get child here, which we haven't been. But then we need to peek P1, we need to peek wall, and then we slide towards blue. Just because there's this guy. You just want to make sure everything is covered before you make these, I guess, big pushes is what I'll call it. This is a push in which it's like you're going to be exposed when you push from store into wherever you go to blue. You're heavily exposed in these areas. You need to pre-aim, you need to pre-check all of these. Just a little peek on this guy would have saved your life. So we pull out the sub, now we're going to push it. Again, I don't like this. As we see, just in the 2 seconds we slid out here, this guy knows we're back. This guy knows we're here in Kuchalas. This guy, we've seen his name. He Kuchalas. And how do we win those gunfights? Not only do we have an SMG, they're just in the positional advantage. They have the opportunity to chow you whenever they would like, where you're out in the middle of open, completely exposed. So we did end up seeing him beforehand. I wouldn't have expected him to sit there either, but we did see him beforehand. So we get this push here, and we get the guy on point. Now we're just, again, playing our life, holding the point. Perfect. To be honest, the nade's a bit early. Just based off the timing, they wouldn't have spawned and got in that position yet. Now, the extremely unfortunate part is obviously your entire team just got smoked by one dude in the back. We knew that there was still one guy up somewhere, but, it's a 4v1. The guy on hill, should expect that to happen. This not to happen is your entire team dies to him, which is just unfortunate. Whatever happens here, you're going to get shot by the angle you were watching. That's not due to COD timing on your part. That's just due to your entire team getting pieced. And that's going to happen. Every once in a while, it's going to happen. So it looks like, yeah, we're giving up. There's 10 seconds left. So our teammate's going to go clear at the back. Yeah, we're going to ape this guy. And now we're going to reposition. I definitely think you got to play your life a little bit more on this hill. Just because this isn't a gunfight you particularly need to take. What I would have preferred is just to see you. It seems like you're aiming right under your head. I assume you're going to get this kill. But doing just poke damage here, making him shoot at you a bit, you shoot at him a bit, what it's going to do is signify to the guy in the top window is that he can't leave. Right now he's looking towards broken side. He should be aimed at, the guy on plane, because there's likely someone pushing from that angle, and he should be helping you with this guy mid-cut, because this guy mid-cut can't run at you and see you if you're tucked in. If we're looking at the mini-map here, if you're tucked in on this wall or in this corner, he can't see you until he triggers that hill, and by that time, he should be long killed by the guy top window. We should just be playing our life, as well as we did come here a bit early. We should have placed our trophy. We ended up getting flanked, which is weird. Again, that's just on teammates not watching their angle properly. Good kill. Yeah, and we just keep watching the mid push. At this point, we do have an option. With you sitting here top broken, and it looks like our team has full coverage on the spawns, what you've done is you've spawned them towards back plane. You've spawned them in this corner. So we'll take a look at what that looks like. So we're on P5. We're here. We'll do a full team setup here. So our team's fully set up. This is about the approximate position our teammates are in, with us being number 1. The entire enemy team should be about here. A couple of them coming off spawn, one of them probably already on the heady, and one of them trying to slide through. With us watching broken, we've pushed them into those spawns. They do have the option. It will rarely be seen, especially this late into the game, just because they have to chow the hill. They're likely just not going to take this route. Could they? 100%. It's unlikely, though. What's likely going to happen is all 4 of them are going to ape this front. So you in the top broken should recognize this, and you have kind of 2 positions you can do. Or I guess 3. The third one, which is my least favorite, is you just sitting here and hopefully calling out to your teammates, no one's peeking mid-cut, no one's peeking P1, they're all aping you at the front. That's at the minimum you should be doing. The next thing you could do is you can sit here, come out of top broken, you now have full P1 coverage, and you just have the angle of when they're coming from mid-cut or anything like that, you're going to definitely get first shot. Obviously, you're exposed in this case, but it's a good position because they're not expecting it. They're expecting you to be here. That's what anyone would expect. Pushing just a little bit farther, you're getting them at a time when they're not expecting this timing, and you can secure that kill if someone decides to run this route. The other option, which is my favorite, is recognizing that they're pushing all through here. And yeah, you're just gonna 8 mid-cut, either through trying to peek over here and just trying to get a slow peek, or sliding right up to this box, and you're gonna shoot. So like sliding over to this box here, what you can do is when this guy starts to push forward, because eventually their SMGs are gonna get up to the front wall. Now you can shoot them right as they're fully exposed in this no man's land. That's what I think the best option is because with the timing left on this hill, they just have to run. They just have to run forward, and that's what they're going to do. So us just pushing forward, even if what we do, we'll go to the map one more time. Even if what we do is just lie here and wait until they start a gunfight. Just wait so once this guy starts shooting or this guy starts shooting, it's like, if you peek, you know exactly where to aim. You can kill them quickly and then hide. Now every one of them has to readjust, knowing that you're mid-cut, because they can't just run out in the open once you do that. But you want to wait until you can secure that kill, maybe. So we end up running back. Okay, our teammates end up getting the streak. In the end, if we did end up flanking and pushing through mid-cut, we wouldn't have died there. We would have secured that kill maybe before that goes off. Now, completely irrelevant. He gets all 4 with the streak, and then yourself. But either or, when you went back to the window, let's just look at this again. When you come back to this window, you're replacing this guy, which is fine. It's just you're gonna see here, you see that guy, you see this guy, you see this guy, especially because your teammates have already died. They are not only expecting you to be here, but they're also, all going to shoot at you. They're just going to try to ape you out. So if the streak wasn't there, I think in the end, you might have secured one, but they would have got another. Like, they would have ended up taking over the hill. Again, we could have just played a little bit slower there. But I think we're just going to probably win this on P1 here. See, yeah. You won the game. You had a great game. But it's these small things that I think will elevate your game. And it's just, when you're the guy on the hill, you just got to play your life a bit more. You get this kill. I love that. Once this guy pops up, you're half health, slide left. Make him chow you on the hill. You're going to have teammates watching your backside, and you're going to have the advantage. Right now, he is the much stronger head glitch. He's full health. He can decide whether he's peeking you and only you, and your teammates won't be able to see. So just sliding left and making him force, because he has to chow this hill. There's 3 seconds left. So just make him do that. You end up getting it, which is awesome, but it's just, in the end, a higher level player likely doesn't let you win that.